turnips for sale. The best turnips this side of Elfsong Tavern," was heard ringing through the streets of Baldur's Gate. Tav Tavsen was peddling his family's prized product. However, he was largely being ignored. "Don't miss out on your chance to eat this famous variety of turnips, known as Tavnips. You can woo your heart's desire, tame a dragon, or summon a solar using them." Tav was always optimistic about his turnips and how many he would sell, in the hope that he would outdo his famous great-uncle Jan Jansen in the turnip trade. As optimistic as Tav was, even he had doubts about how well his sales would be today when a fabled nautiloid could be seen overhead. "Selling my famous Tavnips might be beyond my sales ability," Tav found himself thinking once he found himself inside one of the pods on the nautiloid. So this is Tav Tavsen, probably the first character whose first name I've made for a video who is called Tav. He basically grew up on the streets of Baldur's Gate from a large poor family, which is why he's an urchin, which gives him sleight of hand and stealth proficiency. He is a rock gnome. As much as I kind of think this is the worst of the three sub-races, this is who he is. He is a rock gnome. He's just your average gnome. He's not from the forest. He's not from the Underdark. So this gives him Artificer's Lore. You know, he does like to tinker around anyway, so it kind of fits in. So we've got his appearance here, slightly balding, slightly growing, not too old, not too young, kind of middle-aged gnome perhaps. Gonna make him a wizard, kind of going for illusion going for illusion spells if I can. There aren't a huge number of them though. Some of them are kind of enchantment cantrips or enchantment spells as well. So we've got minor illusion, mage hand, and because he's not stupid, he's gonna take firebolt. He knows that every now and again he does have to defend himself with violence. For his spells though, he's got mage armor to keep himself safe, disguise self and to get himself out of dangerous situations, and then the rest of them are basically to slow down or make enemies less likely to hit him, catch up to him. So this is probably one of the first wizards I've made who, when he is choosing his or her spells, that they haven't taken any damaging spells, any evocation spells. It almost pains me not to take magic missile, but there we are. As for his other skills, given him arcana and investigation. Out of the choices here, I think these are probably appropriate for him. And now for his abilities, I've given him a strength of 10, average strength, dexterity and constitution 14, it's pretty standard for my builds, intelligence of 16. And what I haven't done is really built upon the rock gnomes +1 to constitution. I've left this at 14, which gives me a few more, or gave me a few more ability points to play around with. So I'm going to make his wisdom 13 to try and represent the fact that, you know, living on the streets of Baldur's Gate isn't easy, and wisdom does represent your senses and intuition. He knows when things are about to go down and when to get the hell out of dodge, as they say. However, his charisma is only 9. He is a turnip seller, or tavernip seller, as he likes to fashion himself, but he's not really very good at it. He would never admit it, but he's not, and part of it is because he's actually not that charismatic. So we've got a -1 here for charisma. Hopefully that doesn't really affect him too much though. As we go through the game, he will pick up scrolls and he will learn from them like your usual wizard. So at the end of the day, these spells he's got here are probably the spells that he would first think of using, because these are the spells he's kind of always known that he will get around to learning some more. At level 2, we get to make the subclass choice for Tav Tavsen, and I would actually really quite like to make him an illusionist, but that's not here. So I'm going to give him Abjuration. Out of the two, he's basically not up for dealing much damage. So I'm going to make him Abjuration, helps keep him alive. And the spells he's going to pick are Long Strider and Jump to help him get out of danger and run around faster, especially since he's only got little legs. At level 3, all we need to do is pick some new spells. For level 2 spells, get some level 2 spell slots, which is nice. He is going to pick some more illusion spells, of which there are 2 for level 2. There is Mirror Image, which helps him stay alive, and Invisibility, which helps him creep around, which I think is quite up his alley. Quite likes these illusion type of spells. At level 4, he gets to pick a new cantrip, so Tav is going to pick up Shocking Grasp, so that if he does find himself in any kind of situation where he's surrounded by or next to somebody who might want to whack him over the head, he can use Shocking Grasp and run away. Kind of like a... As for his spells, he's going to pick up Cloud of Daggers. He's gone through enough of the Sword Coast now to know that it's a dangerous place and he might need some spell that does some damage, and Cloud of Daggers seems like a good choice. And Detect Thoughts, he loves the idea of this, how to best persuade someone to buy his Tavnips. And then for his feat, he's going to pick up Performer, which does, well, 2 things. 1, increases his charisma by 1, which puts it up to 10. So now he's got your average charisma, he might have a better chance at selling. And the main reason he went for musical instrument proficiency is to attract attention, getting people around, and then he can sell his Tavnips to them, sell his turnips, and make a load of coin. As for Tav Tavsen's items, he's picked up a multitude of items here. So we've got down into the Myconid colony. So he's picked up the Circlet of Blasting and the Sapphire Spark. He's realised that he might need some help with dealing some damage after all. He picked up the Robe of Summer just because it felt nice and warm, especially down here in the Underdark where it can be quite cold. Picked up the Gloves of Flint and Steel just in case he doesn't fire damage. I mean, he has some of the Circlet of Blasting anyway. Picked up Mistress Grace. He likes having Featherfall, loves being able to just jump down anywhere. Ring of Colour Spray, that helps him not have to remember the Colour Spray spell, so kind of frees up another prepared spell for him. The Ring of Poison Resistance, just because he just doesn't like taking damage, doesn't like getting hurt. He picked up a hand drum along the way, just from some random container around the world. And he's got the Rain Dancer. This is, well, he's forward thinking here, planning for the future, growing his turnips. Instead of having to wait for the rain or pay for some water or use some of the dirty water from Baldur's Gate and the pumps there, why not be able to create your own water? So he's picking up Rain Dancer to grow his turnips, and here, well, he's just got a light crossbow. So he's basically trying to be quite versatile here in a way. He will be able to deal damage with a couple of these items, and he's got an illusion spell always prepared here, and then some other just general items that kind of help around. We're not going over the top on any particular type of damage or anything. So yeah, a good all-round useful wizard. And as for his spells, he did find some spell scrolls along the way, which has given him things like False Life, Magic Missile, Shatter, Melf's Acid Arrow here. But most of the spells he likes to prepare for himself from his own wizarding book aren't really the evocation spells. He doesn't like the spells that deal damage. He likes being able to control things and sneak away. So we've got Detect Thoughts always ready, Mirror Image just in case he gets into trouble, Invisibility, Web to slow people down, Jump, mostly to help out Lae'zel perhaps, although she can cast that herself, Sleep and Grease. But if he wants to, he can switch it up. He can bring out Charm Person to make sure somebody doesn't target him at least, but then that does make them target other people. And if he really needs to, we can get Misty Step out. And it's quite nice with the items he's chosen. He's actually always got these five spells prepared. Scorching Ray, Magic Missile, Colour Spray, Featherfall, and Create Water. Hoping to be ready for almost any situation he might come across. First thing he's going to do down here is help out his fellow cousin Deep Gnomes who have been attacked by the Duergar. So some of the other members of the party notice that this is a perfect spot for an ambush. So he's going to slightly prepare himself. Going to get out a Mage Hand just in case it comes in useful. And just in case he is going to get ambushed, he is going to cast Mirror Image right now, ahead of time. And just because he's using up some spell slots, like every good wizard does, he's going to use Arcane Recovery. And just because he can, Featherfall, since you've got it always prepared from the boots, doesn't want to be caught unawares by anything, especially in an ambush. We're going to go ahead and walk into this ambush. And these are the Duergar. We're going to attack them. We're not going to give them a chance or anything. And off we go, and we surprise them somehow, or at least one of them. So it's Tav Tavsen's first turn, and down below we've got a whole bunch of enemies who he is clever enough to realise they're going to come up this ladder. So he's going to try and he's going to cast, thinking about casting either Web, or perhaps even Grease, just in front of it, although he can't quite see it, so it's going to have to be a bit further out, but that's not all too bad, just to try and slow some people down. He himself cannot see so well, so instead, he's going to try and slip up, get Cole. He realises he's the leader, he's the one in charge, the one giving the orders. And with nothing else better to do, he's just going to recast Featherfall. You never know when it's going to run out. So Grease ended up being okay because all of these reanimated corpses ran up towards Lae'zel and half of them fell over. Now he's got the amazing spell Sleep, and he can just about see and hear Get Cole has enlarged himself. He's becoming a threat, so he should be able to cast it just here. Get Cole's put to sleep. The enemy that's going to cause the most problems is now gotten rid of. He can run away and hide, like a good old little gnome can do. During the last turn, Lae'zel used one of her Battlemaster maneuvers and killed Get Cole in one hit. All these reanimated corpses disappeared. But also, in that turn, Novice Garmor came up. He was invisible. But because Tav Tavsen is so good at hiding, he's literally hiding in plain sight. Well, not actually plain sight, he is hiding right in front of Novice Garmor. And Tav isn't having any of it. And because he's precast Featherfall and cast it even again during the fight, he is just going to get out of here. There we are. Get out of danger. Yeah, making sure he's fine, he's safe. So then the others will be able to come and finish off Novice Garmor. I wasn't recording because I didn't think Shadowheart would be able to do it. Actually got a critical hit on a level 2 Guiding Bolt and so killed Novice Garmor. And here comes Tav Tavsen up from behind, pretending like he was probably going searching for some turnips or something. Right, Tav Tavsen's quest continues, trying to clear out the Duergar scum. Tav Tavsen doesn't need to rely on his spells all the time. He's quite happy to Try and use his intellect to pick the right item to use at the right moment. Get rid of 3 dangerous Duergar. One nice thing about Tav Tavsen and his sleep spell is when 2 Duergar are actually making quite quick work of Shadowheart here. Get out his sleep spell and knock them both to sleep. Shadowheart can get her own back. There's a critical hit guiding bolt since they were put to sleep. This is perhaps quite a pivotal moment for Tav Tavsen, finding 2 Duergar dumping gnome bodies into the water, not even looking after family heirlooms as such. He's doing his best. He's spotted something shiny on one of the corpses and has just pocketed the item, and the Duergar will not survive this encounter. And this ring kind of finishes off his equipment. He realizes this is a ring, or the fetish of Caladuran's smooth hands, and he knows this is a god of the deep gnomes. It is a gnome god from the gnome pantheon. Well, he reveres this ring quite a lot and puts it on. And now he doesn't even have to prepare the invisibility spell. Got an extra spell up his sleeve, ready to cast. And so now it's time to take revenge on these 2 Duergar. Using the item he has just found, casting Minor Illusion to make them walk away, because Minor Illusion doesn't break invisibility, and then using his circlet to blast probably the one that's closest.
You attacked someone.
We don't even want to talk our way out of this. Tav Tavsen is starting this fight. So I missed it on the recording, but Brathwen here used Frightening Attack, Menacing Attack, and since Tav Tavsen is a gnome, he gets lovely advantage on wisdom saving throws and managed to resist this. Now, had these been some kind of folk, kind of creatures who weren't just dumping gnome bodies into the water, he might have slept them and run away, or blinded them to give him a chance to run. But he is enraged and he's going to use a level 2 magic missile since it has a sapphire spark going, in the hope that it will kill both of them. So that's it. That's Tav Tavsen, wizard extraordinaire, trying to work his way back towards Baldur's Gate to try and sell some turnips. A special breed of turnips called Tavnips. Try and make a coin, try and bring his family out of poverty. Let me know what you think of the build. What choices would you have made? Would you have made Constitution higher? Chosen a different feat? Probably would have chosen a different feat, I imagine. Chosen different items, perhaps. If you made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.
You attacked someone.